Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. For today's video, we are going to look at the 2018 NBA playoff round 1 matchup between the 3rd seed Philadelphia 76ers and the 6th seed Miami Heat. We are going to look at the team stats, the player stats. We are going to give you guys my predictions. I want your guys' predictions in the comment section below on who is going to win this series. And we are going to round it off with a playoff series simulator to see who wins according to the algorithm within NBA 2K18, how that simulation goes and that whole process and everything like that. So yeah, man, looking at the Philadelphia 76ers, a few things to note. They are currently on a 16-game winning streak. Now, it can be said, like, some of the talent they have beat in that 16-game winning streak, because I actually saw a chart of the leading scorers in those games, and some of them, man, like, you might get confused with your cashier at Walmart. Like, it's just like some no-name players out there that was going off here, man, against these Philadelphia 76ers. But 16 wins is still 16 wins. NBA talent is still NBA talent. It's also important to note that Joel Embiid will be missing the first game of this series due to a concussion. So for the simulation, I am going to actually take him out of the lineup for the first game and then reinsert him for the other games in the series, depending how many it goes. But yeah, so let's go ahead and check out these player stats, or these team stats out there, see what it's all about. So from an offensive standpoint, the Philadelphia 76ers are scoring 109.8 points per game, which is good for 7th in the NBA. Definitely really solid out there. I mean, one of the best offensive teams in the NBA, just because they are so lengthy. I mean, Ben Simmons, Robert Covington, Joel Embiid, Dario Saric, just all those guys got so much height to them that it's really hard to stop them from a defensive standpoint. Like, Ben Simmons gets to the basket with ease. Now, looking at the Miami Heat, they are 23rd in the NBA and scoring at 103.4 points per game. But the thing about them, guys, is that, for one, Hassan Whiteside missed a lot of time this season. He's definitely a guy who could run the pick and roll through a lot. You know, Goran Dragic was an all-star point guard this season. They have so many different good shooters out there. You know, Wayne Ellington. They also have Josh Richardson, who's had his best NBA season yet. Dwayne Wade is back on this team, and he has those moments where it's like, yo, that's the Flash right there. That's how we remember him. So I do expect Dwayne Wade to give it us all in these playoffs, even if he's coming off the bench. Now, defensively is what could set this series apart, because from a defensive standpoint, the Philadelphia 76ers, they are, so that means they are like, yeah, 10th in the NBA in defense, giving up 105.3 points per game, while the Miami Heat are 4th in the NBA, guys, giving up 102.9 points per game. So it is going to be very interesting, because the 76ers are such a young team. How are they going to adapt to the playoffs? The thing about them is that, what impressed me the most about them is that they are very poised for their age out there. But the Miami Heat, they have a lot of veterans on their team, so it's like a lot of these guys have been in the playoffs before. Dwayne Wade's a champion out there. He's going to have these guys ready to ball out. It's going to be a good series, my friends. It's going to be a good series, you know, for both of these teams. Looking at the player stats, though, Joel Embiid, you know, missing that first game. You are missing 23 points, 11 rebounds, and about 2 blocks per game. Currently the best center in the NBA. That's because DeMarcus Cousins is not playing, right? And I will say, Joel Embiid is probably the best player in this series. I think Ben Simmons is the second best player. Then you probably got to say Hassan Whiteside and Goran Dragic. That's kind of my thoughts on that. But you got JJ Redick at 17 points per game out there, getting 3 assists. He is shooting 42% from 3 this NBA season, guys. So yeah, he definitely stretches out the floor for all these players, which is so important, because Ben Simmons is going to be running the point guard position. So the fact that he can't shoot 3-pointers at all, it's so important having shooters all around him, which is exactly the type of offense the 76ers run. Saric is so impressive, guys. Like, this dude has been really on a tear as of late. You know, 15 points per game this NBA season, 7 rebounds. A guy that it's like you don't always plan around to drop buckets on you, but he had one of those games where he drops 30 points. Covington, 13 points out there. Bellinelli doing his thing, playing like a veteran with Ilyasova, Jared Bayless. And also, this is going to be a very interesting storyline, guys, how Markelle Fultz plays, because he played like the last few games of the NBA season. His last game, he was actually the youngest player in NBA history to drop a triple-double. But to go from playing, like, you know, in garbage time the last few games of the NBA season to full-on playoff basketball for a guy that has not really played in the NBA, I'm curious if they kind of ease him into things or just kind of throw him into the fire, you know, no pun intended, being in the heat and everything, and seeing how he does out there. So that's going to be a very interesting thing to watch. I feel like if he has some rookie moments, they probably will just take him out of the game. But, because, you know, Jared Bayless is a good veteran himself. Looking at the Miami Heat. Okay, so The name of the game when it comes to them is spreading the basketball around. This team does not really have like that go-to big-time score on the team. I mean, yeah, Dragic 17 points per game is very nice and everything. It doesn't really get you all that much from an assist standpoint. The assists, you know, like I was saying, it's all about ball movement of this team, which is why all these guys, you know, are averaging around, 10+ points per game because everybody does their thing out there. You really don't know who is going to beat you on one given game. You can't really plan around that, which is good for them, right? Dion Waiters, who will not be playing in the series. I mean, that's giving up 14 points a game right there. Hassan Whiteside, who definitely is having one of his worst NBA seasons, not gonna lie about that, but I think he is healthy now, so I think, especially going against Joel Embiid, that is gonna be a fun matchup to watch. Both lengthy, quick, 7-foot guys out there. Josh Richardson, I was talking about him earlier, saying how he's having one of his best NBA seasons at 13 points per game. From a three-point shooting standpoint, all these guys, for the most part, can shoot the three-pointer out there. Hassan Whiteside shooting 100%, probably because he shot 1 on the season, right? But yeah, all these guys, pretty consistent. Dwayne Wade, never a great three-point shooter, but he knows that within himself, so you don't really expect him to take all that many threes. Can stretch the floor with another 7-footer, and Kelly Olynyk, Wayne Ellington doing his thing out there, man. James Johnson, who plays the 4 for this team, very strong, very gritty out there, and can jam it in your face if you don't watch out. Justice Winslow, I think he probably will have the big-time assignment, him and James Johnson, of trying to stop Ben Simmons, so that'll be nice, fun to watch. If I was the coach of this team, man, if I was Eric Spoelstra, I'd be like, yo, Justice, just go out there and, don't worry about offense at all. Just give it all. You're all on the defensive end of the floor and try to stop Ben Simmons. That's the most they can ask for him to do. You got Bam out there, who is a great backup center. Luke Babb can shoot three-pointers. I like this Miami Heat team, guys, and I will say, before I did this video, I was kind of leaning towards a possible sweep by the Philadelphia 76ers, but actually, after looking at some of the stats right there, and just seeing how great this team is defensively, and just due to having more veterans on the Heat, like knowing what the playoffs are all about, I probably gotta say that this is gonna be a 6-game series, guys. I'm gonna say 4-2. I still think the Philadelphia 76ers get it done. I think the Miami Heat are gonna win the first game of the series, especially with Embiid being out. But yeah, man, 4-2. I'm gonna say the Philadelphia 76ers are going to win this series. If it went to 7 games, I wouldn't be absolutely surprised. And I know Philadelphia fans are gonna be like, yo, man, does that 16 win streak mean nothing to you? I'm just saying, man, go look at the history of the teams you guys beat in that 16-game winning streak and look at the leading scores. It's nothing like playoff basketball. It doesn't really mean that much to me, especially being in garbage time of the NBA season. But let's go ahead, guys, get going on this playoff series simulator, see how both these teams do, see if 2K has other things to say about this. I said 4-2 76ers, simulate with Simcast. First, okay, so Joel is trying to play that first game. Let me, leave rotation as is. He's out of the lineup currently. And then I will actually reinsert him back into the lineup, after this first game right here. So here we go. First game of the series goes big time to the Philadelphia 76ers, winning 123-98, a 43-point third quarter. Yeah, guys, they're just absolutely unstoppable. 24 points for Covington, 20 and 11 from Dario Saric. Ben Simmons, 13, 5 and 8. Didn't really do much scoring. Didn't really need to. Not really his game anyway. But yeah, man, Markelle Fultz, pretty solid game out there. And then, of course, Embiid did not play. We got, for the Miami Heat, Hassan Whiteside, 23 and 8. 19 for Dragic. Dwayne Wade has 16 points. Just, for a team that's known for their defense, that's really was their Achilles heel. This video was the defense, or this game was their defense. Okay, let's go to the 76ers real quick here, and get their lineup going here, man. The thing about the 76ers, they play everybody pretty much. So I am actually going to take away Rickon Holmes minutes, I think, just because, like, somebody has to sit the bench, right? And then I'm going to give Joel Embiid, put him right here, switch him out with Amir Johnson, swap minutes and players right there, just because Amir Johnson would be like the backup big there. So, yeah, we'll give like 18 minutes. No, we'll put you at about 12. He might play more, but it all depends on the teams and everything like that, right? Okay, we'll give him a few more minutes. We'll give him about 15 a game. There we go. That looks pretty good. So now the lineups are all set for both teams for the rest of the playoff series here. Let's go to game 2 for the Philadelphia 76ers on their home court. Simulate with Simcast and see who wins it, man. Dion Waiters, leave rotation this. He's not going to be bad because it's just 2K being 2K, so not going to worry about that. All right, simulate game. And it looks like Philadelphia is going to win another game, guys. Damn, they are just absolutely killing this team offensively. The Miami Heat are not getting any stops at all. I mean, this team's freaking averaging 30 points per quarter almost, it seems like. Embiid in his return game, 23 and 9. Ilya Silva dropping 22, 15 for Bellinelli. Just like these veteran players, like both these guys are on the freaking Atlanta Hawks, guys. Now they're the second and third leading scorers of this game 2 series. Ben Simmons, 8, 12, 8 and 4. Markelle Fultz didn't really do. You see, it's games like that he's probably going to have. The Miami Heat, 16 for Tyler Johnson, a double-double for Hassan Whiteside, 13 for Goran Dragic. Nobody else really got going at all, only 89 points. Not going to get it done. Here we go. Simulate with Simcast. Game 3. Is it going to be a freaking quick video, guys? It might be. Alright, once again, 76ers are taking over, man. Looks like it might be a sweep, 114 to 101. Balling out again on this team. 29 for Marco, Polo, Bellinelli, 16 for Saric, 15 for Embiid. It's the freaking role players, guys, that are taking over. Justice Winslow had his best game offensively at 18 points, and then everybody else, you know, 10 plus points out there. Dwayne Wade, 10 for him. All right, here we go. Game 4 in Miami. Simulate with Simcast. All right, and okay, this game looked like it was close for a second, but 2K18 has the Philadelphia 76ers sweeping the Miami Heat. That was my original prediction, like I was saying, but I don't know, man. I think it's gonna go at least to 6 games. I'm gonna say 6 games maximum, actually, but a sweep would also not surprise me, just because in my opinion, the 76ers are the dark horse of the Eastern Conference to actually get to the NBA Finals the way they have been playing. There is the team stats, those guys. Let me know in the comment section what your guys' prediction. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.